Hi there and welcome to part 2 of Brickflow's Industry Insights for October. For those who haven't seen it before, it's a monthly roundup of the common trends and conversations we're having with property developers, brokers, agents and lenders every day to give you a good feel for the current market sentiment. Are you on the lookout for new sites at the moment? Then consider waiting. Next year I think we'll see a big correction in land prices. A correction is long overdue, but the quantitative easing and the government pressure on lenders to extend loan terms and or allow payment holidays during COVID meant the correction never came. It was absolutely the right thing to do at the time, but all it did was delay what was needed. Land prices have stayed buoyant because house prices kept rising. We're now seeing a plateau in house values followed by a drop next year, so something has to give. As we all know, build costs rose significantly over the last 18 months. Landowners held firm on prices and competition for sites remained high. Developers therefore took a hit on profits by accepting sub 20% developer margins on their deals. Property developers can't really take any more of a hit, so the only thing that can now give is land values. And I'll illustrate this point by way of an example. Let's say I've purchased a piece of land on a bridge for £1 million a year ago. The site had outline planning. My plan was to roll into a development loan and build it out. The land would have been valued at £1 million because the GDV of the site when built was £4.5 million. From the GDV, the lender's value would have subtracted my lender costs, my build costs and my developer profit, which totaled £3.5 million. So if I subtract the £3.5 million from £4.5 million, that gives me my residual land value of £1 million. Now let's say I took a 70% bridge of $700,000 against that site. Since that loan is completed, build costs have risen significantly, lender costs are now on the rise and GDVs are falling. So that piece of land is no longer worth £1 million. It's worth $800,000 at best and falling. So lender is looking at that situation and thinking, I've got 700k against 800k and the price is going to fall further. The development loan I thought I could get against the land is now lower than what I owe, so I need to put more money in, otherwise I can't move away from the bridge lender. If I can't raise that money, I'm stuck and I'm a full seller. So every year leading up to Christmas, lenders look at their books, they assess what they want to get rid of and don't want to carry into the new year, and this year will be no different. There will be thousands of these situations across the country, and the lenders will not want to carry them into 2023. Therefore, I believe there will be a lot of sites that reduce prices in the market in Q1 and Q2 next year, so make sure you have cash available. Down valuations are another thing that's starting to creep in, and they are unfortunately inevitable given the economic climate we're in. We've seen 2 transactions on the Brickflow platform in the last 2 weeks that have received down valuations. We always tell people to get opinions from 3 local agents to accompany any decision in principle that when you're going to a lender. The main reason for that is you've had at least 3 people give you a sanity check on your prices, and better still, you could get a desktop valuation from a credible valuer. This also helps the lender get comfortable with your numbers early on, which means they'll invest more time in pricing the deal correctly for you. The fundamental difference between perhaps a valuer and an agent at the moment is that an agent might be looking at where the market is today. A lender's value is going to be looking more at the worst case scenario in 18 months or so. These are fundamentally different views. Excuse me. When the market is rising, the differences of opinion are much closer, or there is no difference. So down valuations are not really something we've seen since before COVID. Ultimately, a down valuation can kill your deal before it starts, so try the following to stop that happening. Always meet the valuer on site. Have a file prepared. This can be a paper file or a Dropbox, and it should include plans and elevations of the finished site, CGIs as well if you have them, examples of previous schemes, show the quality of your work, agent brochures, photos, videos, a mood board explaining who your target demographic is and how you're fitting out that property to meet their requirements. Your comps, your comparables, the more the merrier. List good comps and bad comps. Not everyone does this. Just because something is on the next row doesn't mean it's a direct comparable. Help the valuer. There are loads of reasons why the properties might not compare. Your gardens could be south-facing and in a better school catchment area. Highlight that fact. Also include the contact details of the agents you've spoken to and let the agents know you've done that so they expect a call from the valuer. You could still get a down valuation, but at least you know you've given it everything you had. Anyway, that's me for now. Hopefully that was useful. Head to brickflow.com if you want to get a complete view of the market with a 2-minute search. Bye for now.